Greetings and salutations. My name is Michael Schwahn and welcome to the channel. We have some more reaction content for you, and today we're checking out the official announcement trailer for all the new Kingdom Hearts shit that came out. Now, don't let this or like this fool you, okay? I'm not as large of a Kingdom Hearts fan as I like to pretend I am. I'm a Final Fantasy fan, and that's the only reason I ever even looked at Kingdom Hearts in the first place. And they knew what they were doing when they did that. And so admittedly, I own all of the Kingdom Hearts games except for the new one, the rhythm game on Switch, Melody of Memories. I have not played most of them. I've played the first one like 4 times, and I've started the second one a few times, and that's about it. But that said, it is a massive piece of media today within the video gaming space because it's Square Enix, because it's Disney. It had the Final Fantasy basis on it. They took the Final Fantasy out in Kingdom Hearts 3, unless you include Virum Rex, which I kind of do. So, but, you know, yeah, we're here. I'll take that off. That feels weird on my head. So, I know that they have at least 2 game announcements in this, one of which is this one with this terrible logo. Like, I've seen both this logo and the one for Kingdom Hearts 4. Spoilers, by the way. This does not read Kingdom Hearts to me. K-I-N-G-D-O-R-D. That's Kingdord. Kingdord. Kingdom, even. Kingdom. That'd be correct. Kingdom. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about me. I'm fine. I'm just going to click play. Let's get started. This thing's long, so... It's the 20th anniversary! Kingdom? I have played this one. I did play Union Cross, actually. That is something that I can say that I have played. I played Union Cross. What are you doing with... What is this, though? Union Cross is over, right? Like, you literally can't play it anymore? Unless that's what this is. Unless they're making Union Cross accessible without the gotcha shit in some other form. Which, please do. Just for the sake of everybody. Especially because Union Cross has, like, legitimate story canon important for the lore shit in it. God, I'm fucking old. Why are you old? Daddy Kingdom. You remember when Kingdom Hearts 1 came out and you were like, yeah, Kingdom Hearts, and then you're like, shit, that was 20 years ago? Ugh. I didn't own a PlayStation 2, so Kingdom Hearts was really meaningless to me when it came out. I didn't get to play Kingdom Hearts until I got a PlayStation 3. Oh my god, guys, do we want to become famous? Aw. We missed out on our chance. Kingdom Hearts Union Cross Dark Road? What does that mean? Experience the long-awaited finale for free. On iOS and Android. Okay. The dream is dead. I know, right? An unwritten era. Everything is connected. That's the problem with Kingdom Hearts. It's all fucking canon. What is happening? Oh my god, I played Kingdom Hearts 1 on a borrowed PlayStation 2 on a Commodore 64 monitor. Wow. How do you feel right now? There's a movie of the story, though, for Union Cross. Okay. I think that's... Do they include that in any of the 2.8 Final Actress Again, Rebirth to Dust? Because I own the 1.8, 1.5 Final Mix, 2.5 Final Mix, 2.8 Birth Again. Oh man, did they turn Mobius into a Kingdom Hearts game? They shut down Final Fantasy Mobius and just moved the team to Kingdom Hearts? Yes, that is very much what they did. Okay, I'm confused. Are they going to explain why sometimes it's phone-oriented and sometimes it's not? You feed that baby napalm. It's in the 1.5 plus 2.5. Okay. Maybe battle during landscape mode? Maybe. That wouldn't be a bad approach. It'd be irregular, but I've heard of worse ideas. Kingdom Hearts Missing Link. King Dord. Closed beta test in 2022 for iOS and Android. Okay. It's mobile garbage. The Lost Master Arc.
自分が望む結末ではなかったと絶望するのなら、他の世界に退場すればいい。選択肢は無限にあるはずだ。
The heart resides within the soul, which in turn is guided by fate to its rightful place. The choice is yours once more. I love that Sora's just chilling in a high-rise apartment. Man, this like you weren't kidding. He straight up has his Final Fantasy hair now. He finally finished growing up into a Final Fantasy character. Oh my god, he has feet. Those are prosthetics. Wait, Quadratum? Is that what you just named the world? Quadratum. Okay. Is Kingdom Hearts just abandoning Disney now as a concept as well? Like, alright, we'll just put the game in Tokyo. Like... Is that what's happening? I wish they abandoned some more of the Disney stuff. I mean, we're not seeing Disney shit right now. Get you some, Sora! Don't worry, you still got the Keyblade. There is not Disney anything here outside of the Mickey Mouse on with the freaking charm. Nomura, just make the game that you want to make, for crying out loud. This is damn near shot for when he scrapes through the building here. Where is it? I'm sure somebody's already made the comparison. There is a scene in an early trailer for Final Fantasy Versus 13 where I don't remember what Noctis's name before it was Noctis was, but in one of those trailers that got abandoned of the game that Nomura never got to make, he does exactly this. Nomura wants to make a specific game so bad and hasn't gotten to make it yet. He even made part of it with Verum Rex in Final Fantasy 13. In Kingdom Hearts 3. Kingdom Hearts 4. Okay, so outside of the charm. Oh, wait, there's a little bit more Disney. Gotta have our useless party members, am I right? Okay, hold on. You know, I had never played Kingdom Hearts in Japanese before, but hearing, can I make this louder? Hearing Donald and Goofy in Japanese while still sounding like Donald and Goofy is incredible. One more time. I love it. It's great. They didn't say a time frame, though, did they? It's probably really far off, like, realistically. Because Kingdom Hearts 3 just came out in 2020, right? No, it's 2019. So I guess it's been 3 years. So we could maybe see this game in 2? And before Majima from Yakuza? No. Was that Hades? Blue fire turning red when he gets mad? It could have been. Like, it definitely could have been. It's a reveal trailer, so 2030. I mean, Square Enix is trying to not do that as much anymore. They're they've definitely done a terrible job about that in the past, but I feel like they're trying to... I feel like their shareholders, at least, are not as happy with them being that same way that they were for, like, a decade plus, right? Like, basically between, like, 2010 and 2020... they were just so fucking bad about that. I think that they've been given a lot of shit from both the fans and from the people that write their paychecks about trying to not be that way. That said, it does make for an interesting timeline. Because as much as people want to try and say otherwise, Square Enix doesn't want to compete with itself, okay? So we were waiting a long time for Final Fantasy VII Remake, right? And we were like, man, we've heard nothing about it. And we were not hearing anything about it because Kingdom Hearts 3 was set to release in February of 2019. And all of the marketing was focused on Kingdom Hearts 3 for the longest time, right? Kingdom Hearts 3 came out, sold a shitload of games. And then very shortly, like a month after they got all of their huge initial shales from Kingdom Hearts 3, we got massive dump marketing for Final Fantasy VII Remake. And then, so Final Fantasy VII Remake came out in April of 2020, and then everyone's like, all right, cool, what's next, right? And then we started to see, like, we had the announcement for Final Fantasy 16. Of course, we know that Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2 is looming out there. Project Athia, now named Forspoken, is floating around. And everyone right now is wondering, like, yo, where is these games at? Forspoken was supposed to release in May of 2022. It got pushed to October of 2022. We were hoping to hear some more things about Final Fantasy 16 by the end of 2021. Yoshi P came out and was like, hey, sorry, I know that's what we said, but we're just not going to be able to do it. I don't know when we'll be able to talk to you more. But I don't think we will hear much about Final Fantasy 16 until Forspoken comes out. Because while Forspoken is its own new IP, right? It's still being made by Luminous Productions, the team that's behind Final Fantasy 15. And it's still an action RPG the same way that Final Fantasy 16, Final Fantasy 7 Remake Part 2, and now Kingdom Hearts 4 is going to be. And so I don't think we'll genuinely hear that much about Final Fantasy 16 until after Forspoken comes out in October. And then I don't think we'll hear very much about Final Fantasy 7 Remake Part 2. You might get a trailer, right? I'm not saying you won't get a trailer. You might get a release year. But you ain't gonna get no marketing, nothing legitimate, nothing real until after Final Fantasy 16 comes out. And then once Final Fantasy 16 comes out, they'll start their marketing push for Final Fantasy 7 Remake Part 2. And I doubt we hear much about Kingdom Hearts 4 until Final Fantasy 7 Remake Part 2 comes out. And then once Final Fantasy 7 Remake Part 2 comes out, this'll be next. So if we look at Forspoken 2022, Final Fantasy 16 2023, Final Fantasy 7 Remake 2024, that would put Kingdom Hearts 4 at 2025. So yeah, 3 years is when I would expect to see it. Obviously, there's some potential for some variance in there, but I'm betting that's what you see. Forspoken, October 2022, Final Fantasy 16 sometime in 2023, Final Fantasy 7 Remake in 2024, and that would mean that there's 4 years between Final Fantasy 7 Remake and Remake Part 2, which I think is a realistic amount of time. that would put a larger gap between Kingdom Hearts 3 and 4, because Kingdom Hearts 3 was 2019, and that would make this 2015. No, 2025, so that's 6 years. But Kingdom Hearts has always been that way, right? Because they always have these weird extra spin-offs. Like, we have these 2 mobile games that are coming out in the interim. We just had Melody and Memories come out in Christmas of 2020. Was that when it came out, the rhythm game on Switch? So their main entries are always farther spread apart because of their spin-offs and all of their extra 258 and a half days over 2 and Birth by Sleep, Chain of Memories stuff. So I think that fits a relative timeline. 3 or 4 years due to them using the same engine for Kingdom Hearts 3. Yeah. So, yeah. That's what I think you can expect. Don't forget Star Ocean, the new Valkyrie profile. I'm not sure if they care about those as much. Is Star Ocean Square Enix? I legitimately don't know. My brain says it's fucking Monolith Soft, even though I know it's not, because the new Star Ocean game straight up just looks like Xenoblade Chronicles through and through. And the Valkyrie profile game, that looks like a PlayStation 3 game. But, you know. Anyway, you know, I will be interested to see what else we see for Kingdom Hearts 4, because admittedly, like Eve said earlier, I wish they'd abandoned more of the Disney elements. And I wouldn't be upset about that either. This looked more interesting to me than Kingdom Hearts 3 did, because so much of the marketing for Kingdom Hearts for the longest time was Final Fantasy and Disney. And like, when they removed the Final Fantasy, it removed a lot of my interest. And I like Disney, but and seeing Sora in an even higher quality in just like a regular cityscape was actually more interesting to me than just seeing Sora in the 10th iteration of Athens from Disney Hercules. For me, anyway. But what did you think? Leave your thoughts down in the comments below. 2 other great places to keep up the conversation are Twitter and Discord. And speaking of Discord, we actually have a channel dedicated to these reactions where you can place links of your own that we will watch together live on Twitch, because we do stream 4 days a week, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday. If you liked this video, please give it a like. If you want to catch future videos, please subscribe to the channel. We're going to go check out some more trailers, and if you want to see what those are, they're on the channel. So if you go watch one of those other YouTube videos, or if I see you in the live stream, thank you, and enjoy.